this video, I want to talk about crystal singing bowls. Crystal singing bowls are a very popular sound healing tool that a lot of sound healers out there are using. Some sound healers even only use crystal singing bowls for their entire sound bath. So you can choose how you want to work with crystal singing bowls, whether it's just a part of your overall sound bath experience, or it could be the entire thing. You could be a crystal singing bowl specialist if you choose. For me, I use crystal singing bowls very little. As you can see here, I only have 2 crystal singing bowls out of my whole collection of instruments, partly because it's only a small part of my sound bath, but also because I've actually broken quite a few of my singing bowls and I haven't bothered to acquire new ones. And that's another issue with singing bowls, is protection. And while you're transporting these singing bowls, they're very fragile and they can easily break if they get tapped against, say, your car door, like what happened to me, or maybe something falls on them in an elevator, which also happened to me. So you really want to protect your bowls very well. There are companies that make crystal singing bowl cases that are very durable and will definitely protect your singing bowls during transport. So I highly recommend you invest in protecting your singing bowls. With crystal singing bowls, there's a variety of different types of singing bowls. There's these frosted singing bowls, there's clear singing bowls, and then there's handheld singing bowls that you can use. All are fantastic to use in your sound bath. They all sound really nice, and they have an ethereal sound that brings this sort of angelic element to your soundscape, if that's what you want, as opposed to something like the gongs or the ocean drum that's more earthy. So it's really up to the individual practitioner on how you use the singing bowls in your sound bath experiences. You could use them for just a small portion of your sound baths, or you could use them for the entire duration of the sound bath. For me, I personally only use them as sort of accents within my overall sound bath. I don't spend a whole lot of time on my singing bowls. I might spend a little bit of time using accents on the singing bowls while I'm playing the ocean drum, for example. So I'll walk around the room with the ocean drum, and then I will pick up a mallet while the ocean drum is playing, and I will do a couple of rounds around the singing bowl and continue walking around. Or I will use the singing bowls while I'm playing the harmonium. As I'm playing the harmonium, I might have the singing bowl to the side of the harmonium and play as long as the key of the harmonium matches the note of the singing bowl that I'm playing. And then you want to collect your singing bowls that work well together in terms of the musical scale. You want to make sure that they sound good together in a good sounding harmony. So definitely check to see if your bowls are going to sound good together. You do not want any dissonant sounds emanating from playing one bowl that doesn't really match another bowl in your soundscape. That's important. When it comes to your technique for playing your crystal singing bowls, there are a couple of mallets that I use. These are the rubber tip mallet and then the suede mallet. And I mostly use the rubber tip mallet because I find it gets the most resonance out of the bowl, and it doesn't really have that scrapey kind of sound, because depending on the level of frost on your singing bowl, you might get that sort of rough sounding scrape noise from the suede mallet, as opposed to the rubber tip mallet is a much smoother, softer sort of sound. And so you just kind of pick up the volume by continuously going around the singing bowl. Something to avoid, make sure that the wood neck of the mallet does not touch the side of the singing bowl, because you'll get that scraping noise. You want to avoid this noise. It's very jarring to the recipients of your sound bath experience. So you want to just touch the rubber to the quartz, and that's it. And sometimes I'll come in with the suede mallet and I'll just do some light tapping, like this. And then continue with the rubber mallet. Sometimes I'll just let it ring out like that. It can really fill a room really nicely if you just allow it to ring out. You don't have to continuously play it over and over. Louder is not necessarily better with singing bowls. In fact, if it's too loud, it might actually pull people out of their deep state of meditation, relaxation. So you really want to be mindful about how aggressively you're playing these singing bowls, because sometimes they can actually do the opposite of what you're intending them to do if they're played in the wrong way. Yeah, and so you can get a set of singing bowls. You can get a set that really works together in a musical scale to help harmonize the bowls together. You want to make sure that they all are in key, in the right notes, so that they sound harmonic together. So that's just a very brief overview of how I use singing bowls and how you can use your singing bowls. In this program, we're going to have a deeper dive into singing bowls. I'm going to have guest experts coming in to help teach and go much deeper into the world of singing bowls.